Hey, so welcome to the Slow Sea Yoga Handstand Challenge. It's pretty much approximately 5 minutes of handstand exercises every day for the next week. Pick and choose any of the exercises within the 5 minutes that you want to work on, or do all of them every day if you want. It may go beyond 5 minutes. That's just like a token time. I'm not going to cut it off at 5 minutes if there's something else I want to share that day. You can do all the exercises as I mentioned, or you can just do one exercise that we're doing. Feel free to share whatever you do that day with us. So you can tag Slow Villas, Gilier and Sea Yoga One Love, or just share with family, with friends, or with your flat, your space, your house, garden, wherever you can go, toilet, whatever space you've created. Not actually in the toilet, but bathroom, maybe, that to get a little bit of space that you can have time to yourself at this moment. Okay, so the most important thing, or our foundation in handstands, is our wrists. If you joined our online class yesterday, we were working a lot on ankles and feet, because in our standing poses, clearly that's our foundation. In handstands, it is our hands. So we need quite a lot of wrist flexion for handstands. It is pretty much passive mobility in the handstand, because you've got the weight on top pushing the wrist into a particular position if you don't have that range yourself. So please, every day, warm up your wrists. So I'm going to show you some exercises now. You can choose to do these exercises every day. Maybe every day on some days I might give you a few more exercises you can do. But please warm up the wrist. You can do it kneeling down, you can do it standing up, you can do it while you're just eating something, thinking, oh, I'm going to do my handstand challenge today. Or maybe not when you're physically eating, but in between bites, possibly, to create that space between bites. So we're going to start really simply today. So elbows tuck in, extend the wrist. This is extension for the purpose, well, for now. And then flex the wrist. So just little yes, no's with the wrists. Just see which feels easier for you. So where you feel like it's a more natural movement, or maybe you get to the end range on one point and you think, oh, that feels a bit weird. Try to be soft at the end range. So possibly it will create space to go a little bit further, so you don't feel that's the end. There is possibly, if you relax into it, a little bit more opening. And now we're going to go to the sides, like you were offering something to people on the sides. Here you go. And then people who are just standing right in front of us. So here you go, here's some chocolates. Here you go, that's for you, for you, for you. We're going to make it into a circle now. Focus on those 4 moves and tune in to which ranges feel maybe a little bit sticky. For me, at the moment, it's actually more when I open it this way to the right, which could be considered an extension on this side, flexion on this side. But for the purpose of this, we're just, so we're not confusing this extension and this flexion, we'll just consider it a little bit of a side opening. So the other wrist feels okay. I also find when I go to the side, my forearm wants to turn, wants to turn in to sort of compensate in the move. I'm trying to resist that, so it's getting more just in the side. So just be aware, for example, if I'm turning up, that the forearms don't lift up, or if I'm going down, the forearms don't move out. Okay, so take as much time as you want. You can go in opposite directions as well. Make a fist with the hands, or interlace the fingers, and then you can just gently release the wrists. So one more exercise. So you're going to add weight. So this is very much without weight, what we just did. You can also, I don't have handy, I should be prepared, but if you have weights, little weights or water bottles, you can do the same exercise with those weights in your hands. Maybe if this is the first time you've done this exercise, do it without the weights, and then maybe the second day start to add weights. If it hurts your wrists, back off from the weights. Oh, just one little thing. My elbows are tucked in here, so that's trying to keep my upper arms and lower arms, keeping them more stable, so it's just the movement is coming through the wrists. So if they're out to the side, it's easier to add other things, as I mentioned earlier, to compensate or to try and take the movement away from the wrists. So sometimes other parts of the body want to move more than others. So the next exercise we're going to do for the wrist. Yeah, the reason this video is cut now is the first time I did this, I got a splinter. It's gone, but yeah, be careful about your splinters and where you're putting your hands. So you're going to start here. So again, we're coming back to our active mobility of the fingers here. I'm pushing through my hands. So I'm not sinking into my shoulders, pushing the floor ground away, whatever ground you have. Actively pushing my fingers through the ground, pushing for 5, feel like you want to imprint your fingers in the ground, so it's a little bit like if it was sand, it would leave your hand mark. Not probably on the concrete that I'm on, that would be amazing, or the grass it might leave. 5, keep pushing, maybe carpet. 4, keep pushing, actively push your fingers through the ground. 3, like you're leaving your face, you know, like when you're a kid, you put your face, your hands, you dip them in paint and you put them all over stuff. Maybe also when you're not a kid as well. So you're trying to leave your hand, create a nice hand painting on whatever your floor is. Push for 2, push more 1. Good, now try to lift your fingers towards the backs of the wrists. You can tip forwards. I need to tip forwards to lift them off the floor. Actively bring those fingers towards the backs of the wrist. Push, bring them for 5. So the fingernails are trying to touch the front of your wrist for 3. Keep pushing 2. You don't need to tip forwards too much, then don't. 1, and then release. And move your hands. Tune into how your wrists are feeling. I feel mine are gently cooked. And now we can do a handstand in some way. So you have happy wrists now, the wrists are warmed up. I just want you to explore today. Just explore being on your hands, having weight going through the arms, making the landings. As you push the floor away, you do your little hops however you want. Make the arms as straight as you can, make the landings as soft as you can. See, it's up to you how you go. I know some of you have different kinds of spaces. If you've got like just a mat space, go up on the mat, go down the mat, go to the sides of the mat. I know like you may need to stay on the same spot if you really don't have that much space. So use the space you have, get creative, feel the joy in the space that you can move in, that you can move. Okay, you can go, I was showing bent knees, you can go straight legs as well. So it's up to you. Explore, pause, just have as much fun with it as you want. Okay, next one is you're gonna take blocks. I just wanna, even though we're playing a lot today, just being on the hands, you could have done it for 2 seconds, you can keep going on your own for half an hour with trying to explore how many kinds of movements you can come up with, just playing. Little jumps, feeling the weight through the hands, even if it's just for a second or half a second or less, or no seconds. You're trying to do it. Okay, so here you're going to put your blocks, your elbows on the blocks. And I can see my whole body's not on, you can't see it, but I'm not going to change it. I'll talk you through what's happening. So I'm pushing through my hands. Again, ears are covered by triceps, pushing. I'm extending my armpits, elbows hug in, don't let the elbows bend. Let's squeeze them in. And then low ribs, I'm thinking a little bit of like they're trying to lift off the floor, squeezing the glutes, pushing the pelvis into the floor, kneecaps off the floor, hold for 5, keep pushing 4, keep pushing 3, 2, point the toes, 1, good, release. And then I just want to start to build up stamina, so we're going to go for 30 seconds on hands. It can be any way you want. If you want it to mirror the position we did, we can do that. This is the position of the camera. I'm going to show you my right side, which is the side which is going to look like my arms are not straight. Just pretend that I'm going for arms straight. The side is just structurally a bit weird. Well, not weird, but it's just not, doesn't look straight when I try to get it straight. Okay, so if you find it hard to kick up, I'm not going to cover that today. You can walk up the wall. So push strongly through the hands. Maybe one foot pushes into the wall, then the other. Try to do the same thing we did just now with the blocks. So maybe pushing up, ears covered by triceps, legs straight. I'm sticking my butt out slightly, that's cool, that's fine. But just try to be on your hands for 30 seconds. For those who can, you're going to kick up, try to be as close to the wall as you can. I'm going to time it. And then don't worry so much about balance, but think of the same engagement we were doing on the blocks. You might naturally then come away from the wall. Ribs in, glutes engaging, kneecaps lifting up, always turn. Okay, and then I'm saying that